Let's do a very quick recap of what we did in the earlier classes, in the previous classes, not the first class. Okay. So we were doing So did they teach you about the middle term splitting method?
Yes.
Okay. But I will revise that for you. Okay. So do you have any problem in middle term splitting?
No, sir.
Okay. So let's do a quick recap. Quick recap. Okay. So first was what? Let's say we had a quadratic equation x squared plus bx plus c equals to 0, and it had two factors. So x minus alpha was the factor and x minus beta was the factor, right? Because you had two solutions. X equals to alpha was one solution and x equals to beta was the other solution, right?
Yes, sir.
So you had two solutions or two zeros of this quadratic equation, right? And you can write the quadratic equation in the form of these zeros. And what was that? Can you recall?
Yes, sir.
So what was the form of the quadratic equation in the form of these zeros? We proved this in the earlier class, in the previous class. So it was like this now, x square minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta equals to 0, right?
Yes, sir.
And you had some of the zeros like alpha plus beta and the product of the zeros. Product of the zero was alpha into beta, right?
Yes, sir.
And so, yes. Yes, so relation, we learned about the relation between the sum of the zero or the relation between the zeros, relation between the zeros and the coefficient, right?
Yes, sir.
And what was that relation? That sum of the zeros was what? We proved this. It was what?
Some of the zeros were minus b by a.
Yes, right. Absolutely right. It was minus p by a and product was c by a, right?
Yes.
And if you are given the sum of the zeros, let's say you have a sum of zeros is 3 and product is, let's say, product. So it's iftar time here, so that's why this sound. So let me have. Okay, so product, let's say it is 2. So what will be the quadratic equation from this information? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So what will be the form of the quadratic equation when you have these information? So you have, this is the quadratic equation and you have given the sum of the roots and the product of the roots. So what will be the form of the quadratic equation. So what is your quadratic equation? It is alpha plus beta x plus alpha into beta, right?
Yes, sir.
And you have given alpha plus beta and you have given alpha into beta, right?
Oh, yes, sir, yes.
So this will be what? Minus
It's
3x,
x minus 3x
2.
plus 2.
right?
Yes, sir.
So this is how you write a quadratic equation you have when you are given the sum of the roots and the product of the roots, right? And in some other question, they will ask you about what is the relation between the sum of the zeros. And let's say they will write like this. Let's say you have 3x squared plus 2x plus 4 equals to 0. So this is a quadratic equation, right? And what are the values of a, b, and c?
3, 2, and 4.
3, 2, and 4, right? So if they will ask you what will be the sum of the roots, so what will be the sum of the roots?
2.
It will be minus b by a, right?
Minus b. Yes, sir.
So it will be minus 2 by 3, right?
Yes.
And if they ask you what will be the product of the roots, then this will be what?
4 by 3.
It will be 4 by, right? So this is, can I have my file for 1 minute?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Let me mute my. Good. Yeah. नहीं हुआ हमें करता हूँ आपने नहीं क्या वो नहीं हुआ अरे कैमरा का ऑफ किया ना क्लास में नहीं हो रहा ऐप नहीं बोलो कैमरा हो नहीं हो रहा कैमरा यूज नहीं yes. So where was I? So you understood up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yes. So we have done the sum of the roots and the product of the roots and the relationship between the coefficients. Similarly, we had a third order. So in your school, did they do the cubic equation?
No, sir.
Achha, they didn't do the cubic equation and they didn't do the division algorithm also, na?
Which one, sir?
The division algorithm that I taught you in the previous class. It was like this. Px equals to gx qx plus rx. The division or algorithm. They didn't teach you, na?
No, sir, they haven't.
Okay. So let's just do a quick glance of what is a cubic equation, right? Just for the knowledge. It had 3 roots, right?
Yes, sir.
And the sum of the zeros will be here. It will be minus b by a, and the product of the sum of the product of 2 roots. So let's say you have alpha beta plus beta gamma plus alpha and what? Gamma. This will be C by A, right? And the product of all these three roots will be what? Minus T by A. So this was the relation in case of what? In case of what?
Cubic equation.
Cubic equation, right? And in the last part, what did I do? I did the division algorithm. In division, algorithm. So in the division algorithm, what did I teach you? That if you, similar to the Euclid division lemma, you have a divisor, right? And you have a dividend, and you have a quotient, and you have a remainder, right? So let's say this is gx, this is the divisor, and this is what px, this is qx, and this is rx, right?
Yes, sir.
So what is the dividend? It is divisor into quotient plus remainder, right? So
Yes,
this
sir.
will be what? Px will be what? Gx into qx plus rx, right?
Yes, sir.
So this was the division algorithm. Now I will do some numerical questions, but before that I want to talk about the middle term splitting method. Okay. I somehow missed this part in your previous classes. Okay. So what is the middle term splitting method? Let's say you have x square minus 3x plus 2. This equals to 0. Okay. And you want to find the zeros, right? So
Yes, sir.
so there are numerous methods to solve this equation. One is, as the name suggests, the middle term splitting method. And the second one is the completing the square method. This will be done in the next chapter, that is the quadratic equation. So completing the square method. Oops. And the third one is the what? Discriminant. Discriminant. Right. So firstly, I will talk about this two. Okay. And these two will be taught in the next chapter. One second. Now.
Okay, sir.
Sorry. So what is the middle term splitting method? So this is done in your school now. So can you tell me, what do you do in the middle term splitting method? As the name suggests, what do you do?
Split the middle term.
Yes, split the middle term. Yes, right. So you split this. Okay. And there are two things to note here. Two things to node. And what are those? First one is that
Taking
the
multiple.
yes,
Taking multiples.
okay, taking multiples, right? So if you multiply this coefficient and this coefficient, if you multiply A into C, so this will be your multiple, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
And if you subtract or add or whatever you do, you have to get the factor -3, right? -3 or whatever, B. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So whatever you do, you subtract or add or whatever you do, you will have to get B as the final answer, right? So apply these two criteria. Okay. One is that A into C is what? A into C is what? So this is, yes. So x square minus 3x plus 2 equals to 0. So when you multiply A into C, that will be 1 into 2 is equals to 2, right? So you take the factor of 2. So what will be the factor of 2? Let's say,
2.
yes,
1 into 2.
yes. So there will be two factors. One will be 1 into 2, second one will be 2 into 1, right?
Yes, sir.
So you can take 1 minus 1, 2 minus 2. So from these four numbers, you can have so many combinations, right? But the final answer should be what? When you multiply,
-3.
yes, when you multiply those two, the answer should be 2. Okay. And when you add or subtract, the answer should be -3, right? So let's say we take 1 and plus 2. Okay. So if you multiply 1 plus 2, what will be the answer? Into 2, this will be 2, right?
Yes, sir.
So this criteria is fulfilling, right?
Yes.
But if you add these two, what will be the answer?
3.
3, right?
Yes.
So which is not here, right?
Yes.
So what will you take? Let's say you take 1 minus 2, right? So what will be the multiplication? -2. So
-2.
again, this is discarded, right? So you
Yes, sir.
take -1 and -2, right? So what will be the multiplication of -1 and -2?
2.
2, right? 2. And what will be the addition of -1 and -2? This will be what?
-3.
Right. So this is the combination that we are looking for. It fulfills both the criteria 1 and 2, right?
Yes, sir.
So we will take these two numbers. We will split -3x into in the form of these two numbers. Right? Understood up to this point.
Yes, sir.
So we will take what? We will take x square minus x, 1x and -2x, right? Plus
Yes.
2 equals to 0, right? So
Yes,
this
sir.
is how you do the middle term splitting. Any question, any queries, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So, and then you solve these equations. So this will be what? When you take here, what is the highest common term?
X.
X, right. So when you take X common, what will you get?
X
X, right?
-1.
Yes, right. And then you have another two term. Okay. So you have to take the common in such a way that you get this as the factor. Okay. So what is the highest common factor here? It is
1.
2, na?
Yes, sir.
So if you take -2, the first term will be what?
X.
X, right. And this term will be what?
1 -1.
-1, right. Right. So both the factors are same, right?
Yes, sir.
Because if you multiply x into x, you will get what? X square. If you multiply x -1, this will be -x. If you multiply -2 into x, this will be -2x. And if you multiply -2 into -1, this will be 2, right?
Yes, sir.
So we have taken the right factors. So this will be what? If you again take x -1 to be the common, then you will get what?
X -2.
Right. So this is the factorization method. You get two factors as like we did in the quadratic equation. How will the factors be? This will be like x minus alpha and x minus beta, na? Right?
Yes, sir.
So you get the same factor as these, right?
Yes, sir.
Then what you do is that you take one part this side at a time. Okay. So in for case first, let's say in case first, you take this to be in the denominator, right? So this will be what? 0 by something is what? 0, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
this will be x minus 0 and we take in the right side. So x equals to 1, right?
Yes.
And then in the second case, you take x minus 1. X minus 1 to be in the other side. So your x minus 2 will be what? 0, right?
Yes, sir.
And you will get what?
X equals to.
Yes, x equals to 2, right?
Yes, sir.
So you found the two roots of this equation. So equation was what? Your equation was x square minus 3x plus 2 equals to 0. This was the equation, right?
Yes.
And with your calculation, you found out the roots or the zeros of this equation, right? And
Yes.
it came out to be x equals to 2 and x equals to 1, right? So let's say I want to prove that these are the zeros. I want to check that whether my answer is right or wrong. So how will I check that these are the correct zeros? Can you tell me?
Dividing.
Not divided. So I am saying that these are the zeros. These are the zeros of this polynomial or equation, right? So if these are the zeros, right? So how can I check that these are the zeros?
By dividing x by 2 by the polynomial.
No. So to check, let's just recall to check whether they are zeros or not, we have to find what? If I write this, then you will get the answer. We have to find P2 equals to what? 0, right?
Yes, sir.
And P1 equals to what? 0, right? So
Yes, sir.
this is how you prove na, that these are the zeros, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's put x equals to 2 in here. So this is the px, right? Right.
Yes, sir.
So if I put x equals to 2 here, so this will be what? P2 will be 2 square, right?
Square. Yeah,
Yes,
2 square minus 3 into 2
2 plus
plus 2.
equals to will be what? This will be 4 minus 6 plus 2, and this is 6 minus 6. So it is 0. So if this is 0, this means that 2 is the 0, right?
Yes, sir.
And let's again prove about 1. So this will be what?
1 square minus 3 into 2 plus 2.
3 into 1, right?
Yeah,
So
3 into 2.
yes. So 2 equals to 1 minus 3 plus 2. So this is what? 3 minus 3, which is equals to 0, right? So now, firstly, we calculated that these are the zeros, right? And if we have a confusion that whether our answer is right or wrong, so we can always check that these are the real zeros or not by just putting the value of x in the px, right? So remember that always, okay? If you have any confusion that you have got the wrong answer or the wrong zeros, you just put the values of those x and you see that whether this is 0 or not. If this is 0, then you got the right answer, and if that is not the zeros, then you have to do again the calculation, right?
Okay, sir.
So any question up to this point?
No, sir.
Okay, so then we will do the questions in the NCERT. Okay, we'll solve this together. But first, okay, so one more thing is remaining, is that we want to prove the relation. Second thing is that we want to prove the relation between the zeros and the what? Coefficients, na?
Coefficient.
Right. Right. So let's say, again, take this question. I won't leave this question.
Okay,
X
sir.
square minus 3x plus 2, and this was 0. And what were the zeros? Alpha was what?
2,
2, right? And beta was what?
1.
1, right? So let's say we want to prove the relation between the zeros. Okay. So firstly, we will what? Remember what is the relation? First relation was what? It was
Minus b by a,
right. And the second relation was
c by a.
right. So we want to prove this relation, if this is credible or not, or if this right or not. Okay. So let's say you have alpha equals to 2 and beta equals to 1, and you have a equals to what? A equals to a equals to
X square equal to 1.
1, yes. B equals to minus 3 and C equals to 2, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's say what will be from here, from the solution. So alpha plus beta will be 2 plus 1, which will be 3, right?
Yes, sir.
And is this minus b by a? Let's check. So b is what? B is minus 3 and a is 1. So what will be minus b by a? Minus b by a will be what?
Minus 3 by 1.
Minus of minus 3, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. This of
By 1. So this will be 3. So your minus b by a equals to 3, right? And your alpha plus beta equals to 3. So your alpha plus beta is minus b by a, right?
Yes, sir.
So you have proven that the sum of the zeros is equal to minus b by a, right? This part is proved. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Right. And then what will be the product? Let's calculate the product of the zeros. So this will be what?
A.
2 into 1, this is 2, right?
Yes, sir.
And C is what? 2 and A is 1. So what will be C by A?
2 by 1,
So this
which
is
is
again,
equal to 2.
yes. So C by A is equals to 2, alpha into beta equals to 2. So your alpha into beta is C by A. Okay. So what was our real aim? Firstly, we calculated from this equation, we calculated. So let's take a note here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Point 1 is that first, this was the equation. So first we calculated alpha and beta by middle term splitting, right?
Yes, sir.
And then we checked the zeros. This you don't need to do, okay? But for the case of calculation, we check these, okay? And 3, we checked the relationship between zeros and the coefficients, right?
Yes.
So your whole chapter 2 is about these 3 points. Understood? The whole
Okay, sir.
chapter. So let's do the chapters now. And you will tell me, and I will follow your lead. Okay, you tell me the answer and I will follow your calculation or your command, whatever you say. Whatever steps you tell, I will follow this.
Okay, sir.
So, yes, so where is the second chapter? This I don't need to tell, na? You already know what will be the zeros. So, these graph were for the purpose of what?
Yes, sir.
So, these graph were needed to what? They were needed for what purpose?
To show the zeros.
Yes, to show the zeros. Right, right. So, you are remembering. Okay. Yes, and then second chapter. We did this, we did this. Done, done, done. Okay. So let's do the first question, right? Okay, so let's try the first question, right? So write this equation. Write this equation and tell me the answer. Tell me the zeros of this equation, right? So your equation is what? X square minus 2x minus 8 equals to 0, right? So you tell me what will be the two numbers that you will choose to split the middle term. Firstly, what we will do?
We'll take the factors of it.
Yes, right, right. So we will take the factors of 8. And this will be what? This will be
1 into 8 and 2 into 4.
this will be, yes, 2 into 2 into 2. So this can be divided into 1 into 8, 2 into 4, and what? 4 into 2, and what else?
8 to 1.
Right.
Yes.
So we want minus 2. So this is discarded, right?
Yes,
This
sir.
is discarded. Okay. So now tell me from 2 and 4, what will be the combination? Yes.
Subtracting 4 by 2, 4 with 2.
4 minus 2. So you are telling that these numbers, this combination.
Yes.
So if you take 4 minus 2, this will be what? 2. 4 into 2 is what? Minus 8. First is completed, right?
Yes.
First criteria is fulfilled. But if you take 4 minus 2, this will be, is this minus 2?
No, sir.
So you should take what?
2 and minus 4.
2 minus 4. Yes, 2 and minus 4. So let's check the conditions. So 2 into 4 is what? Minus 8, right? And
Yes, sir.
2 minus 4 is what? Minus 2.
Yes, 2.
So both the conditions are fulfilled, right?
Yes, sir.
So 2 minus 4 it is, right? So split this term as 2 minus 4. This will be what?
2x minus 4.
X square plus 2x minus
2x minus 4x.
Yes, right, right. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now let us take the common.
X
And then
x plus 2.
right, right. And then what common you will choose here?
Minus 4.
Right, right. Nice. So this will be plus 2 equals to 0, right? So
Yes, sir.
again take x plus 2 common.
And
And
x minus 4.
right. So what will be the solution? One solution will be x plus 2 equals to 0, right? And the other solution will be what? Right.
Yes.
So one answer will be minus 2, right? And
Yes.
the other answer will be what?
4.
Right. Okay. So let's read this question. They are telling that find the zeros first. So we have found the zeros. Okay. And then they are telling that verify the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients. Right.
Yes.
Okay. So the second part will be what? Let's say your alpha is minus 2 and your beta is what? 4.
4.
So what will be the sum of the zeros?
Minus 2 by 4.
This will be minus 2 plus 4. Na?
Yes, sir.
Alpha plus beta is alpha plus beta. Right. So this is 2.
Yes.
So this is 2. And what is minus b by a? Minus b by,
Minus of -2/1.
yes, yes, right, right. So this is 1, so this is 2. So we can write 2 as minus b by a. Okay. So alpha plus beta is minus b by a. So this is proven, right? Similarly, we prove what is alpha into beta?
-2 into into 4.
So this will be what? Minus 8, right? And what is c by a?
-2/4.
C by a, c by a.
Oh yeah, -8/4. -8/1.
Yes, minus 8 by 1 or minus 8, right? So this
Yes.
is c by a, right? So alpha into beta is c by a and alpha plus beta is minus b by a. So you have proven, right?
Yes, sir.
So this question is completed. Understood?
Yes.
Now let us solve the second question. Okay. Let's just rub these first. So understood, na?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to note it down or you remember?
I'm writing it down, sir.
Okay. Okay, okay, okay. So
Sir, done.
okay. Okay, acha, I rubbed before you would have taken the
Complete it, sir,
screenshot.
complete it.
Okay, okay, sorry, sorry. So we'll learn in the second question.
Sir.
Right. So let us solve the second question. So this is 4s square minus 4s plus 1. So what will be the factor or what will be the number that we have to factorize?
4.
Yes, 4. So what will be the factor? 4 into 1 and 1 into 4. Right?
Yes, sir.
So
2 into 2.
yes. Okay, 2 into 2. Right. So you already got the answer, na? What will be the number? This is discarded, right? So this is the number. And what will be the combination?
-2
Yes, right. Minus 2 and minus 2. Because minus 2 and minus 2 will be what? 4. And minus 2 will be minus 4. Right. So both the criteria are fulfilled. So the number will be minus 2 and minus 2. So how do we split this term? This will be
-2 s and -2 s.
yes,
Less
right. So let's take a common. What will be the highest common factor here?
2s.
2s, right. So this is 2s and this is minus, right? And these are in the positive values. So we'll have to take a minus 1 common, right?
Yes, sir.
So this will be minus 2 minus, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
this will be what? 2s minus 1 and 2s minus 1, right?
Yes.
So this is what? 2s. So this is what? 2s minus 1 equals to 0 and 2s minus 1 equals to 0. So this is 2s equals to 1, s equals to half, right? And
Yes.
similarly, 2s equals to 1, so s equals to half, right?
Yes, sir.
So these are the alphas and beta. Okay, so what will be the sum of the roots? From this? What will be the sum of? Yes.
1 by 2 plus 1 by 2.
Yes, right. 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2, and that is 1. Right. And what is minus b by a from this?
Minus yes, sir. Minus of minus 4 by
Yes.
4.
Right. Right. So this will be 4 by 4, and this is 1. Right. So your
Okay.
alpha plus beta is equals to minus b by. So prove. And I will not prove the other part because yes, it is okay. Or is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So alpha into beta is minus b by. Right. Okay. So take the screenshot or if you want to.
Certain.
Okay. So let's do the third question and then you solve. This will be your homework. No, I will solve this, and fourth and sixth is your homework. Right.
Okay, sir.
So just for practice, the more you practice, the more clear will be the middle term splitting, right?
Okay, sir.
Because at an instant you will able to gather what will be the number, the combination of the number. If you
Yes.
do more practice, then you get at an instant, you will have the idea about the numbers. Okay, so third question. So just write in the, so this is written like this. But what is the form, general form?
And 6x squared minus 7x minus 3.
Right, so this is the general form. Na?
Yes, sir.
The x come first and then the constant term. Okay.
Yes.
So what is the product here? It is minus 18. Let's say 18. Right.
Yes, sir.
So what will be the factor? 18 into 1 is already discarded. So you have what? Let's do a factor.
9 into 2.
9 into 2. Right. So 2 into 9. And then 6 into 3. Right.
Yes.
So this is discarded. Only this is remaining. Right.
Yes, sir.
So what will be the combination?
Minus 9
Yes.
and 2.
Yes. Right. Right. So you see that when you solve these two and then you got the hang of this middle term splitting. Right.
Yes, sir.
So multiplication is what? Minus 18 and sum is what? Minus 7. So two criteria for this. Right.
Yes,
So
sir.
what will be the term here?
6x squared minus 9x plus
Right.
2x minus 3.
Yes, right. And what will be the common factor here?
3x.
Yes, 3x. So this is 2x minus 3, right? And you will have 1,
That's what.
right? So this is
Yes.
what? 2x minus 3 and 3x plus 1, right? So you have
Yes.
2x minus 3 equals to 0 and 3x plus 1 equals to 0. Okay, so 2x equals to 3 and x equals to what? 3 by 2, right?
Yes.
And from here you have 3x equals to minus 1. So x is minus 1.
Minus 3 by 1.
Minus 1,
Minus by 3.
right?
Yes, sir.
So you got alpha equals to 3 by 2 and beta equals to minus 1 by 3, right?
Yes, sir.
And then the last part that it tells is about the proving of the relation. So let's just prove that. So what will be the sum? Alpha plus beta will be
3/2 plus
right
plus 1/3.
minus 1. Right.
Yes, sir.
So LCM, you have 3, 9, you have 2. So this is what? 7/6.
6.
Right.
Yes, sir.
And oh, okay. Yes. Now where is the equation? Yes. So your minus b by a. Minus b by a is equal to what? Minus of,
Minus of -7/6.
right? So 7/6. So this is minus b by a, right? So
Yes.
alpha plus beta is, so alpha plus beta is minus b by a. Proved. Okay. And if you want to take the screenshot, we have to calculate also the alpha into beta, right? So let's
Yes,
just
sir.
so let's just calculate alpha into beta.
Yes.
And alpha into beta will be what?
-3, -1/3
Yes.
into 3/2.
Yes. So this will be minus 3/6, right? And what is c by a? It is, let's just calculate here. Okay. So c by a is what?
Um, -7/6.
C by a, C by a.
Sorry, -3/6.
Right, minus 3/6, which is exactly equals to what? Here. So this is what? C by, right? So
Yes.
alpha into beta is C by. So you have proven the relation between the coefficients and the zeros, right? So if you want to take the screenshot, if you want, or you want to
Yes.
solve, if you want to solve it by yourself, then because you have to do more practice to get the hang out of this middle term splitting idea. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So in the next class, I will do the third chapter. Third or one? What do you want? One is not that interesting.
Yes, sir. Third one.
The second one and the third one.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So we'll start with the third one. But before that, let's finish. Did they do the third chapter in your school?
No, sir. Only one and first chapter and second chapter.
Yes, because the third one was not in your syllabus. And if I get some time, then, but I want to be ahead of your school, because then you will more understand about the school's classes, right? So if I
Yes,
am
sir.
ahead, then you will get what your teacher is telling. Okay. So do you want me to complete this third chapter, or you want me to start the next one? Because this is not in your syllabus.
Third chapter not in syllabus.
Yeah, yes, third chapter is because your teacher didn't do the third chapter, na?
Yes, sir.
Because it was not in the syllabus. So uh, what do you want? The third one?
First chapter.
First?
I guess
Okay, so
because third is not in the syllabus.
okay. So I will do the first chapter. Okay. And when will you when is your sessional or what exam that happens? The first exam that is going to happen?
PT1.
Huh? It is on?
Sir, they haven't said us.
Announced. Okay, so they haven't announced about the dates.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so whenever they announce, please tell me, then I will pace, or I will make the pace of my teaching at that at that speed, and we'll try to cover those portion that is remaining. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Not thank you. We want to do some more calculation here.
Yes.
Okay. First, we'll complete these two, and then I'll give you some homework, and then we are finished. Because I haven't eaten my star. I will do
Sorry,
this.
sir.
I will first finish this class, and then I will have my star. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So, so second question. It is easy. We have done this. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what they are asking, just read the question. In the meanwhile, I will rub these.
Should I read the question?
Yes, yes, yes.
Find a quadratic polynomial, each with the given numbers as the sum and product of its zeros respectively.
So this is a very simple question, na?
Yes, sir.
They are given what? They have given,
1/4 and -1.
yes, they have given alpha plus beta, and they have given alpha into beta,
Alpha
right?
into beta. Yes, sir.
And what is the quadratic equation? Right?
Yes, sir.
This was the quadratic equation. So what will be the quadratic equation from the first question? This will be what? Right?
1/4. Yes, sir.
Minus 1. Right?
Yes.
But you can't, this is not the general form, because this is not that we like our quadratic equation. So we should take the LCM, right? So if we take the LCM, then this will be what? 4x square minus x minus 4 equals to 0. And this can be moved here. So your equation will be what? Right?
Yes, sir.
Understood. So let's do the second question, and then I will end the class. You do all these rest questions.
Yes, sir. Okay.
If you have time, okay. If you
Yes,
get time from school, from your home, and then
yes, I
then
have time.
okay. So let's rub this and tell me the answer of the second question. So what will be the answer of the second question? This will be
X square minus √2
yes, root 2x.
-3 -1/3 plus 1/3.
Yes, this is plus, huh? So this is plus 1 by 3, right? But again, you have a fraction, so we take the LCM. So this will be what? 3, and this will be 3x square minus
Square minus 3 √2x plus 1.
1. And then this goes here, so this is what? 3x square minus 3 root 2x plus 1. So understood? Any question, any doubt? You can ask me any question or any doubt that you have without any hesitation. I will not eat you, okay?
Okay.
So if I get time, if I get any time, then I will do the third chapter. But that is not in your syllabus. But just for the calculation and the knowledge purpose, if I get time, if I have completed the syllabus that is going to come in your exam, then I will do the third chapter. Okay. But I have already told you about the theory of the third chapter, right?
Yes, sir.
So this part we had done. But only thing is the remaining is the calculation part. Okay, so I will in the next class I will start with the chapter 1. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And I will quickly end the first chapter